We all need happiness, and yoga is the way for that much needed happiness factor in life. This is quoted by Shri Ravi Shankar. I find immense pleasure in introducing the multi-talented personality. He's a mechanical engineer, yoga therapist, academician, and a writer. He is Guruji Dr. H.R. Nagendra, the founder, Vice Chancellor of Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana Sansthan, a deemed university located in Bangalore. He is the best known as the personal yoga consultant of Shri Narendra Modi ji and is a recipient of Yoga Shri title from the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. He has authored 35 books and over 100 research papers on yoga. The Government of India awarded him honor of the Padma Shri in 2016 for his contributions to society. In 1975, he became the National Secretary of Yoga Shiksha Vibhag. He also held the post of Secretary of Vivekananda Kendra Yoga Therapy and Research Committee and the Director of Indian Yoga Institute. Dr. Nagendra is the pioneer of cyclic meditation, a yogic technique where the practitioner performs slow, conscious physical movements. He claims the technique is useful in treating illnesses like stress management, asthma, cancer, and many more. I owe the privilege to welcome Guruji Dr. H.R. Nagendra ji to share his views.
My dear brothers and sisters, I congratulate Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar, the global convener of the United Consciousness, for organizing the week-long program in the context of the International Day Yoga celebrations. All of you are aware as to how our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji brought this June 21st to be celebrated throughout the world as a yoga day, an international day of yoga. Since then, 2015, year after year, the number of people who are celebrating this function is increasing. And in India, all the ministerial people have been asked to spread to every nook and corner of India to bring unity, harmony, peace by the practice of yoga. And the last year, the Ministry of Ayush has been given the responsibility to take it to at least 20 crores of people, 200 million people, and they did it almost for 18 million people. 18 crores of people. And this year the target is 25 crores. And we had a number of interministerial meetings in which everybody was enthused and they said, yes, we'll do it. And the new Honorable Minister of Ayush has said, we'll celebrate after 25 days, 50 days, 75 days, and 100 days when we get June 21st. So the Ministry of Ayush is involved to celebrate this from 100 days. We had a wonderful program in Red Fort, the public program, as a launch of this 100 days program. That's what's happening in India. Similarly, the Ministry of External Affairs have said that we'll celebrate this International Day of Yoga, the yoga protocol to be practiced by people throughout the world, in every country. And that is what is happening in the world. Why? Because yoga has a message for all. The benefits of yoga is not only for the adults or the people who are stressed up in the field of IT and other top positions in the world, executives, governings the whole world. It has a message for every person, every common man. It is not only to deal with the stress, it is not only deal with non-communicable diseases, it is not only for dealing with infectious and contagious diseases. Yoga has the capacity to bring benefits to everybody. Particularly When we talk about yoga, it is not merely a set of asanas, as all of you now understand. It is the science of holistic living. It's a way of life, featured by total wisdom base contained in the Upanishads. The modern science also has brought tremendous wisdom about the entire world around us. If you refresh your memory, it was 400 years back that Newton and Descartes started the ball rolling to understand this entire creation. What makes this world that we see? What is at the base of this creation? Is there a fundamental reality from where this whole creation has come? We may call it an absolute reality. And in our search, soon we found to understand the whole creation is almost impossible, because we don't understand even how the rain drops, lightning occurs, thunderbolt comes. So we said, let us understand things which are very simple, down to earth, concrete things of the world. Then we'll go to the subtle thing. So the best of the intellectuals throughout the world started understanding this world and using that scientific approach to see whether we can understand the world. Yes, we did very well. Over 4 centuries, we have understood everything about the physical world. Made out of molecules. Molecules made of atoms. Atoms made of protons, neutrons, electrons, fundamental particles. And what are they made of? They're all made of packets of energy called quarks. So everything in the physical world is the electromagnetic field, the energy field in general. And we understood that we can actually measure how much of energy is in given matter. E equals mc square. A small 10 grams of the hydrogen bomb burnt up the whole of Hiroshima. Imagine. Our nuclear reactors are producing such energies with least consumption of the nuclear material. All that we understood. Not only that, we also understood how this entire world behaves using the laws of the creation. Newton brought out 3 fundamental laws. Newton's laws of motion. And this is known as classical mechanics or deterministic approach. Everything in the world is determined. If you leave the object, after 1 minute it's going to come down. In 1 second, 32 feet down. If you launch a rocket towards the moon, you can track the entire trajectory every millisecond. No ambiguity. But when you go to extremely high speeds, like an electron swirling around the nucleus, nearing the velocity of light with such speeds, then Newtonian mechanics will not hold. You have to go to the higher laws, more generalized laws of quantum mechanics, theory of relativity, special theory of relativity. All that we started understanding. What is the difference between the classical mechanics and the quantum mechanics? Quantum mechanics is the probabilistic mechanics. That if you leave an electron, it can come down, it can go up to the front and the back and the right and the left. In fact, an electron develops like a globe. Therefore, you cannot say where exactly will be the electron after 1 second. It can be here, far away. Only we can talk about the probability of finding the electron here is 10%, 1%, 0.1%. That gives us the whole knowledge base of the physical world. Almost we have understood everything. Therefore, anything physical we have been a big success. Putting man on the moon, building skyscrapers, underwater tunnels, information technology, very powerful pharmacological intervention, and surgeries, 5,000 types of surgeries. We are even racing to change our genes so that the gene therapy can completely change the personality. All that we have started doing that. But what is happening to science? Science is moving further to understand the subtler and the causal dimensions of this universe. Is there something like prana? Can we create prana out of matter? Was the search that people did, but they failed. They understand prana is something different. The laws that govern prana are different. Our Schrodinger equation or the quantum mechanical equations or the Newtonian equations will not be able to describe what is prana. Then comes the mind. What is the difference between the mind and the emotions and the intellect and the consciousness? Into this region of subtlety and causality we have to move. Fritz of Capra wrote in his wonderful bestseller that it is here that India has a great contribution to make. Our ancient seers, probably thousands of years old, or millions, we do not know. They fathomed the entire creation. The entire creation, they said, is not merely physical. The physical world today known as the electromagnetic field. Then pervading this entire physical energy field, we have the bioplasmic field, the pranic field. Then encompassing all the two is the mind field, the astral field. And above that is the Anandamaya Kosha, before that is the Vijnanamaya Kosha. The information field, the intellectual field, the wisdom field, and then finally the bliss field. All these 5 fields are in continual interaction. A change in one is going to bring the change in the other. And that's the knowledge base, that's the wisdom of the Jnana Yoga developed in the Upanishads. And a change in one brings the change in the other. And at the individual level, we do not have only the physical body. This is called the Annamaya Kosha. Then the Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnana, Anandamaya Koshas are the 5 bodies that all of us have. And the causal state is the Anandamaya Kosha, a state of Pananda. It is featured by complete silence of the body. And it is that silence is bliss, bliss is peace, peace is Ananda, is the key feature. And the goal of yoga is to get into that level of silence, that level of bliss, infinite bliss almost. And that is the one that our Upanishads propel. Therefore Patanjali said the yoga is to gain mastery over the mind, to have that state of silence established. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha, he said. And Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita said, we have to reach the state of sthita prajna, complete silence. What is it, sthita prajna? Asked Arjuna. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmaniyeva atmana tushtaha sthita prajnaha iti uchyate, it said. And it's a state in which you have complete capacity to calm down the mind, the silent mind, as long as you want. And you'll be able to think, faster mind, quicker mind, brilliant mind, innovative mind, creative mind, faster, faster, faster. Both these capacities we should have. That is the mastery over the mind, said Patanjali. Therefore, yoga is to bring that dimension. And in the causal state, most of us are on the same level. And in that field, we have the unity consciousness. And that's what we want in the world to spread. Therefore, by the practice of yoga, Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, particularly the Jnana Yoga, can bring this wonderful consciousness, the unity consciousness which spreads throughout the whole universe, the bliss field and beyond. That which is beyond the creation is our pure consciousness, beyond space-time consciousness, that is the unity consciousness. So let us all raise ourselves from our mere physical body to the pranic world, the mental capacities to gain mastery over the mind, and the knowledge base, saying that the silence is bliss, bliss is silence, and silence is peace, and that is what we have to do. Not merely to be healthy, but move towards perfect health and towards the state of wonderful bliss, and do all our activities in that blissful state, yogastaha kuru karmani, that's the Jnana dimension. Therefore, in the week-long program, our Thomarji is going to expose you to wonderful knowledge base and the practical wisdom that is needed to see that we all grow in our encounter, to move from our normal level to become great, super divine human being and reach the highest level of perfection. I wish you all the best and good luck, and let us spread this message of unity consciousness, the peace, the bliss, infinite bliss to everyone in the whole world. Thank you once again, Tomarji, for organizing this Unity Consciousness IDY week-long program starting from June 25th. Namaskar.
I owe my thanks to Guruji H.R. Nagendra ji for sending his blessings in a message. We are honored and grateful to you, Guruji. Thank you so much.